All right, so welcome back to Inspiration Nation. I'm Mandy Monahan here with Brandon T. Adams. I'm really excited to connect with you today, Brandon. You have made a massive contribution in my life, and we're diving into contribution today. And we met, and part of this show is actually inspired through working with you and your mastermind. So you've made a huge difference in my life. I'm excited to dive in and talk about what ways you're contributing, you're making a difference, and you're out there making some massive things happen right now.
I'm excited. It's been fun working with you over the past, I don't know, what, 6 months now, Mandy,
Yeah.
and just with your dream and vision with everything you're doing with contribution. And we're so alike because for me, everything that I do is to make an impact. And I look at, even for people, for generating revenue and making money, it's to do good with that money and to
Mhm.
make something happen with it that can help more people. And that's everything that I'm about. And I think everybody that truly wants to have success and most fulfillment in their life, they need to have that mission, that drive to do things more than just for the money, for the better good and helping people and impacting their life and helping others along the way.
Yeah, you got it. It's really that fulfillment and that level of fulfillment. In business, our mentor teaches us that you grow a big business and a life so that you can leave a legacy of contribution. So, in what way do you see that applying in your own life, Brandon?
Yeah, so video.
Yeah.
People probably get annoyed. I'm talking about it all the time, but I see the most powerful way to impact somebody and to tell a story is through storytelling. You look for thousands of years. You look at the Bible. You look at different influencers, Gandhi, all these people. They told great stories. And if you can become a storyteller, you can make a huge impact in people's lives and get them to do things. But I believe the best way to tell a story is through a great quality video, because it's the visual, it's the audio, it's the emotion you get. I mean, think about the last time you went to a movie, Mandy, and it made you like emotional and cry. Maybe it was Think and Go Rich, The Legacy. I don't know about you, but I cried
Yeah.
twice in that.
A lot.
And it motivated me, inspired me to go take action in my life. So for me, I want to create video content, TV shows, films that do that. I want to create things that not only impact the people that are a part of the project, but also the people that watch it. So, for example, one of the things we just got done filming, it was last year for Ambitious Adventures. We just got
Mhm.
Emmy nomination. We find out in a few days if we get an Emmy. We got distribution on Entrepreneur Network and Facebook Watch and all these different platforms. And we have literally thousands upon thousands of people that see this work that we do. And our whole purpose with it is we want to inspire, motivate, and educate others that are watching to go after their own dream. When we interview that small time business in town in Iowa, and it shows, for example, one of the people we interviewed was Tres Mentes Salsa. They started from the back of their vehicle, going to farmers markets across Iowa, and now they are in stores, hundreds of outlets in the Midwest, because they had a vision and a dream. And those two people the brothers that created the salsa, they will inspire other people that watch that show to, hey, why don't I go start my own company? Maybe it's a salsa company or a food company or whatever it is. So that's why I create content, so people can be entertained by this, but also inspire them to go after doing their own thing. And even with working with you and other people in Arizona for our show Success in the City, we want to travel around the country and highlight these cities, communities that are doing really good things. I mean, I've traveled quite a bit, Mandy, but there's still so many places around the country, and even eventually when I go around the world, that people are doing cool things in their community to do give back, to do, whether it's the Boys and Girls Club or if it's for a nonprofit, for whatever it may be, veterans, cancer victims, anything. And then also just these entrepreneurs that are driven in these communities and they're trying to make impact in that community. So that's a drive behind everything I do. How am I contributing? I'm contributing by using my talent of creating video content, producing it, and taking it on the mainstream so people could be inspired from it.
Yeah, so you're taking the gift that you have, what you have to bring value to other people. And I appreciate that about you, is you've always talked about whenever you're working with somebody that it's your main goal to add value to other people. Like that's it. It's all about making an impact. It's all about adding value. So you're pulling that and then inspiring people and adding value to other people so they can go inspire other people. That's like a multiplier effect when we look at it that way.
It is. And
Yeah.
it goes back to adding value. That's probably I say that so much. And it's funny. Some people are like, what do you learn from Brandon T. Adams? Value, add value. Because I found out at a young age that if I can help people so much, and add so much value to them, not only will they want to work with me more, but they're more willing to help me on my journey. So if you can just help more people, I think the whole saying is like, you want to become a billionaire, help a billion people. Solve a problem that helps a billion people. And you look at like somebody like Gary Keller or anybody, my mentor and executive producer, Jeff Hoffman. They're both people that have achieved huge success. And now, I mean, all they do is give back. When you die, when our time is done, we cannot take our money to the grave. We cannot take our money to the grave. And for me, I want to be able to do something with that money that not only does it now, but when I am dead, that it lives on. It lives on not only my legacy, but also can work for future generations. I always say, like, you look at Think and Grow Rich. Napoleon Hill, the work that he did, he said, I am basically, with this book, I'm impacting the lives of others and some yet unborn, that aren't even born yet. Because you create that work once, and then it's always there. So for me, I'm always thinking of ways, how can I create these different films or projects that can help people beyond my life and in the future. And one thing you said before too, I believe we all have talents. We all do. We're all very good. One thing, you're really good at recruiting people, Mandy. You're really good at coaching people. Like, that's a talent of yours, and you use it to the max to help more people. For me, again, I use my talent to contribute to other people. And again, sometimes it's bigger than just donating money. You can donate money to a cause. You don't have to have any money. You can just give your time. Sometimes that is even more than what the money is.
So true. Your time, your talents, your energy, your focus, just helping other people grow. Yeah. So true. So you came across this book. Were you always like this? Did you always naturally, were you like going through high school and you get done and you think, I want to go add value to people? Like, what shifted in you? Where did you turn a road?
Yeah. So growing up, I'm lucky enough to have great parents that raised me and always taught me good values of work for your money and help other people. And I don't know, like in college or in high school and early part of college, I was kind of like that, ego driven, and I want to be successful and be the best and all these things. And I was a good person, but I didn't quite understand the whole like add value and just help other people. Because in my mind, I'm like, how can I become a millionaire quick? How can I do all this stuff? But it wasn't until I had read the book, I was 22 years old, when I read Think and Grow Rich, it became my Bible to life and just made me realize, I mean, here's some of the big takeaways. For one, again, this is why I do masterminds. You are the average of the 5 people you hang out with. You need to surround yourself with people that are doing big things with huge visions. 2, it's having a specialized knowledge, having an expertise in a certain area. And mine at the beginning was crowdfunding, and now it's transitioned into doing a lot of video work and producing great video content. And the next one is just belief in what you're doing. And for me, you look at all these influencers, you look at what Thomas Edison, Henry Ford, and Andrew Carnegie, and all these people did. They're no different than you and I. They're people that had a burning desire to achieve huge success. And heck, even Thomas Edison, he dropped out of, he didn't even make it through high school. And for me, I got a 1.68 GPA when I was in my first year of college. I wasn't the smartest guy, but I knew if I really wanted something in life, I would focus on it. I would get people around me to help me achieve it and go after it. And again, the adding value aspect of it. If you can help more people, you can add value to them. Not only will they help you, but you'll make a bigger impact and you'll feel better inside.
Massive. It brings fulfillment.
Yes.
It's like Tony Robbins' Human Needs, talking about fulfillment contribution. So you're nailing it. When you talk about that. Okay, so what about the days where that's not easy? What about the days where, like you might be thinking about where you're going to pay for groceries next or what you're going to do next, and you're thinking, I'm going to go out and add value and contribute to other people and help them. So where does that get to be your forefront of your consciousness, of your thinking? Yeah,
so no matter where you're at right now, whether you maybe have a lot of money in the bank or maybe you have nothing in the bank, and maybe you're broke, you're negative in the bank, and you're in a position where you feel like you have nothing to give. Trust me, you have something to give. And even the times, here's the thing, when you feel like you have nothing to give, you have to find out, you got to figure out how to give. You should always be giving. And that's where just taking what you know and your knowledge to help other people. And even sometimes just giving a helping hand and not expecting anything in return. I know it's hard at times, especially in the grind. I tell you, even sometimes, and I'm the kind of person, because of my mother, like raising, is always try to help people. And one thing I learned from her was growing up, she said, Brandon, you never know what could be going on in that person's life. You never know what could be their situation. So no matter how much maybe you don't like them or whatever the situation is, you should try to put yourself in their shoes. And for me, I've always done that. And sometimes I'm like too nice maybe, because I'm like, oh, maybe that person, I'm trying to justify why they did something or whatever it may be. So I'm always coming from a place of heart. I really care. Like, you know this, and anybody that ever works with me, I really want to see people succeed. And I take it personal. I take it personal because I want to do whatever it is in my duty to ensure they have the best results from whatever I do, from the contribution of my own knowledge and expertise. And I take on every part of their life. And one thing too, just so you know, the fact that you wake up every day, the fact that you can breathe, the fact that if you can see and walk, like that in itself is more than what, I mean, it's everything. You don't have to even have money. A lot of people don't appreciate the little things. I've learned to appreciate the little things, like just waking up, having your loved one with you, or going for a walk, or maybe seeing your mom or dad. Those things, again, right now, if you don't have any money, no, appreciate the little things, because those are the things at the end of the day that I never forget. Yeah, there's plenty of successes. There's plenty of times where I made money and did other things. And a lot of times there's some of them I will never remember. But I'll tell you the things I will remember. I will remember the times when people came up to me and said, Brandon, you changed my life. Brandon, because of you, I went and started this business. Brandon, because of you, this happened from an event or a video I created. That is a thing. Those are the things I will always remember. I will forget the people where maybe I made a bunch of money, but I will remember the times when people had their life changed from the work that I did.
So true. So true. You shared one time that you make it a goal every day to live like it's your last, to live like it's full. You're completely full.
Yeah, I do. I think everybody should. That's my whole brand, Live to Grind. And there's more beyond it, beyond, just grind, hustle. You know, my living to grind is living, right? Grinding to actually live and living life. And I believe every single day. And I had a couple of things happen in my life where I really have this mentality. So in 2014, it was 2013, I was working corporate, probably doing 100 hours a week. And I was really stressed out one day and lack of sleep and other things I won't go into. But I had a mental breakdown on the side of the road, which it felt like a mental breakdown / asthma attack. It wasn't an asthma attack, but like a heart attack, stroke, whatever you call it. My body locked up, the ambulance came, and I thought I was going to die. I lived, obviously I'm talking now. But I remember it was, I had my secretary in the line and a headphone, and I felt so much pain. I'll never forget. I had so much pain that I almost passed out. And I remember saying, because I thought it was like the end for me. And I said to my secretary, I said, tell my dad I love him. And they say at the end, like, you maybe think about the things that come to your mind. I don't know why in that day, but I thought of my dad right away. And I thought about how much I loved him and cared about him, and I wanted to see him. And that was the lowest moment, one of the lowest moments in my life. And that day I ended up, by the way, leaving the ambulance and going and doing more work. And I was messed up in many ways. And I sat in that office that day. It was like midnight, and I'm alone. I had nobody. I thought to myself, what am I doing? What's the purpose of this? And then it was 2 months later, I had a friend get killed at 21 years old in a car accident. And that was his last time on earth. Like, he died. It was it. I found that out. And I thought about, well, what should I have said to him before I'd seen him last? I seen him 5 days earlier. So I thought about those 2 life incidents, and I thought to myself, you know what? If those times were me, if I would have died, would I be happy with everything I'd done? And at that time, I would have been very, like, if I would have been in heaven or wherever I'd have been, looking back, I'd be like, you know what? I lived a life that was not fulfilling. So I think about that every single day. And that's why I work so hard. That's why I do things to the max, and I wake up and I just kill it every day, because I want to treat it as if it is my last. Because if I did die, I can look back and say, you know what? I give it my all. I give it the best day I can give. So I think everybody should have that mentality. We take life for granted. We take it as if we have so much time. Every day is a clock ticking. So I want to wake up one day. I don't want to be that person that wakes up when they're 70, 80 years old or whatever, 50, and they look back and like, what happened to my life? What did I do? What impact did I make? Did I matter? I don't want to do that. I want to be one day where I look back and be like, you know what? I lived a great life. I did everything I could have done, and I'll never regret it. And that's why I do the craziest stuff. I do things that I love. That's why next year, Samantha and I are traveling to 12 cities in 12 months and create a reality show to help people, because life's too short not to.
I love it. So you're living every day as if it's your last instead of as if it's your first.
Every day as if it's my last.
Every day. So that's going to lead to massive contribution. So tell me about 12 states. So you're going around 12 states, 12 cities.
Yeah.
And your whole main focus is contributing to other people and helping them, identifying the success in the city, and also helping them transform their business and their life. So tell me about that. That's massive contribution in itself.
Yeah, so we look back, and I talked about my expertise of like creating video content. I want to take the knowledge I had and helping other people and experience from just all the marketing campaigns we've done from with Think and Grow Rich Legacy and through our own companies. And I want to be able to give that knowledge I have to other people. So the what we're doing is we're living in 12 cities in 12 months.
Wow.
First city, Scottsdale, with you actually, and hanging out with you for a month. You might get sick of me after a while. And helping a specific entrepreneur transform their business. So bringing the community together, helping them, creating something cool, maybe they're a fundraiser or event, something to help the community, but also help the entrepreneur, and film it. So then what we do is when we air this after 12 episodes and we get it on a Netflix or whatever mainstream outlet we get, what happens is the people that watch this, they'll see what it's like in Arizona. They'll see what it's like in Boston or Salt Lake City or wherever it may be. And they'll see these entrepreneurs in the community. They'll be like, whoa, like they're doing cool things in that community. For one, that'll attract talent to that community. For two, it's going to inspire others to go after what they want. And for me, for the long run, so you want to see my legacy, I create this show. I build influence throughout every city. We have this show go on a mainstream. But the long-term goal is to be able to build a very massive fund. And this is, by the way, this is, for me, there's a lot of things I've never known. Like, I'm an Emmy-nominated producer. 3 years ago, I didn't really know that much about video. 3 years from now, I want to create a $100 million fund, and I want to travel the country and invest in other entrepreneurs and make more and more money to be able to give that back and make that money work for things. And so that's the long-term goal. And it starts with the TV show, Success in the City. It starts with that. And then from there, that's the foundation to be able to get to the next step. Everything I do has a purpose. There's a meaning behind it for the next step in line for the next goal and for my journey, what I see right now in life.
That's a huge legacy. So that's leading to everything that you're doing is going back to giving back. What I love about that, Brandon, Gary Keller, who's a huge mentor of mine, says that entrepreneurs are the ones that will change the world, because they're the ones that are willing to get up, take a risk, go after things, be uncomfortable, to have grit, persistence, and go out there and add value and make a difference for other people. They're the ones that'll change the world. So when you invest in entrepreneurs, you're investing in people that are going to change the world.
That's exactly what Jeff Hoffman says too. He said exactly what, 2 billionaires that said the same thing. Like he said, our entrepreneurs will change the world. And not only that, if you can get kids in third world countries to focus, or in different cities to focus on entrepreneurship businesses, that'll keep them out of gangs. That'll keep them out of bad things, doing drugs, because their focus will be on a business. Their passion will be there. The entrepreneurs will change the world.
Gives them a funnel and a purpose, something to live for.
Exactly.
So tell me about, you were in Think and Grow Rich, part of producing that movie. Yeah. It's amazing. And I know that book actually transformed a lot of your life. So then you get to go on and do these videos and be a part of the production of taking that to the world at a bigger level, because it's not about a movie, it's about a movement. And you got to be a part of that. So can you share your journey inside of that?
Yeah, the reason why I became a part of it is because I applied the principles. Awesome. I took my specialized knowledge in crowdfunding to help them raise $370,000 in a couple months for the movie, and then basically just helped. I did different things to add value to the group, and they were looking for a 20-something entrepreneur person to feature in the film. And I fit that. They actually, it's funny. They said they put on a whiteboard. They said the names that they wanted. One was Bob Proctor. One was Rob Dyrdek, Lewis Howes, Barbara Corcoran, Grant Cardone, all these people. And then one was line, question mark, 20-something kid. That was me. And they didn't know it at that time. And by the way, they got all those people in the movie. They got Bob Proctor. They got all these influencers in the movie. But what happened is they came across me and they're like, that's our guy. They knew what they were looking for, but they didn't know the person. And I was that person because they were looking for basically at that time an underdog that hadn't like achieved huge success but was hungry and in the rise. And they found me and they told me that story like months later. I'm like, that is so cool. And so anyways, I became part of the team and spent, it was 18 months on the project. We crowdfunded it, raised it. We just, last month you were there for the premiere. And now it's actually in a week from Saturday, it'll release online. So it'll release online worldwide. And then what they're going to do is a book is made on it too that I'm in. And funny thing, my chapter's on persistence.
Wow, great.
Yeah, because I'm probably the most persistent guy you'll ever find.
Live to grind. Yeah.
Live to grind. And that book, I mean, why it's an honor is because for one, it impacted my life. And now I can take the impact it did for me. Just like I said before, all the video content I can create, I want to impact other people's lives. Well, that piece of content impacted me. And now I'm doing my duty to take that help with the movie to help impact other lives. And it'll go down in history. I mean, it's going to help a lot of people. We're already looking at doing a actual real like version of Napoleon Hill's life, a movie on that. And it's an honor. Like, honestly, every time I go on shows, I was on one this morning, every day, when I talk about this stuff with other people, I still can't believe that I'm a part of this. It's so unreal. And it's an honor. And I'm grateful for it. And I'll never forget it. I'm excited for people to be impacted in a positive way through this work.
Cool. So massive contribution and big levels. Now, what's your mission, Brandon?
Well, my mission is to inspire, motivate, and educate 1 billion lives by December 31st, 2019 through inspiration, motivation, education, through speaking, podcasting, online education, masterminds, events, and my TV show. And I will do that. That is who I am, and that is what I've become. Excellent. So that's massive contribution, 1 billion people. And you're achieving it. You're in it. So congratulations. Yeah, thank you. Well, I couldn't do it without like people like yourself. You know, it's taking the talent and influencers like yourself and people that are doing things at a high level and just taking a bit of what I know and planning it with you and with other people to help make that impact. I mean, that's what it's about. And that's why, like you're helping so many people, even through this show. And just a little bit of knowledge that I can give somebody that can help them go to that next level. That's what's about. I want people to like bypass me in every way possible. I just like to help more people, and I like to see people grow. And I know you're probably the same way. When you can see people grow and you can see when they like get it and then they run with it, it feels good, doesn't it? Oh yeah. Multiplying. It's multiplying. And that's why I do it. I love to teach. Cool. Very cool. So what's your definition of contribution? How would you define it? Yeah, I believe definition of contribution is taking whatever you have, and you always have something, and giving it in a way to help more people. And again, it doesn't have to be money. Sometimes things that you can give is worth way more than money can ever give. And that's your influence. And that is your value and your knowledge to help others and make a bigger impact. And for me, my contribution to the world is, just like I said before, using my talents through my influence, my speaking, and my ability to communicate to be able to help others and realizing what their talents are, to be able to run with that and inspire and motivate and educate others. Cool. So start at wherever you're at, no matter where you're at. Start pulling out those gifts, find those talents, and identify that in a way that can contribute and add value to other people. Sounds like. Exactly. When I was 6 years old, I was knocking on doors, or 8 years old, knocking on doors and doing St. Jude's Bike-a-thon. I was raising money and then I was doing popcorn. Like, since I was a kid, I've been contributing to so many different causes. It's just a part of me. And it's crazy because of crowdfunding, I've helped people raise money in so many different ways. And I've been doing it my whole life. I just didn't realize that, like, I was always the kid that was raising the most money for St. Jude's Hospital and for other different causes. And it's who I am. So now I'm just taking a little level. It's no longer just raising a few $100s. We're raising hundreds of thousands of dollars, eventually millions.
That can make even a bigger impact. So, Brandon, you're young still. You're 26 and 27 now? 26.
27. I turned 28 in a month.
28. Okay. So still in your 20s. And what advice would you have for the next generation of leaders in terms of developing their own gifts, their own talents, their own life of contribution?
Yeah. Live a life on your terms. So many people live lives on other people's terms. Sometimes maybe they live a life that their parents want them to live, or somebody else, or they do things because they're afraid of what society will think of them. It's so freeing and amazing to do things that is on your own terms and what you really want. And the question you should ask yourself is, what do you want? And I've been through a test like this where somebody asked me, what do you want? And they asked it like 10 times. What do you really want? Bob Proctor, I love how he does. What do you really want? And It's so true. What do you want? And when you think about that, it really ties down to a lot of people. It is legacy. It is helping people. I mean, they'll say, I want money. I want cars. I want all these things. But it all ties back to love. They want to be loved. They want to help people. They want to be fulfilled. That's what people really want. So think about, what is it that you're going to do with your life that's going to fulfill you? And for me, I found out what it is doing what I'm doing now. It took a lot of things along the way, but I figured that out. So for the younger generation, live life on your own terms, do what you want. And when you do what you want and figure out, use your knowledge and expertise for doing that, you can figure out how to make money doing it, which at the end of the day will obviously give you the things you need, but also can make a bigger impact.
Cool. So how do people, you're doing a lot of awesome stuff right now with Success in the City, with, your different things coming out. Where do people find and follow you? Where's the best space to go?
Yeah, just go to successinyourcity.com and you can find Samantha and I there and everything we're doing, our map for all the cities we're going to. Maybe we'll be coming to your city. We're going to Scottsdale, but any listeners, we're still looking for some entrepreneurs to feature. You can find it there, or you can just follow me on social media, Brandon T. Adams 18.
Sweet. Thanks for taking the time. You're doing some massive things with contribution, making an impact. You've inspired me in a lot of ways, Brandon, and this podcast show wouldn't be here without you. So I want to say thank you. It's with a very grateful heart that we get to share this and have you share your own story of contribution with the listeners. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you for listening to Inspiration Nation. Please leave a rating and review for the show on iTunes or your favorite podcast player. And take one small action right now to help someone and spread inspiration across the nation and beyond.